All right, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. All of you Dynasty sickos out there are extremely lucky today. We're going to be running up possibly the last Dynasty startup mock draft of this offseason. Because you guys had a very rare spot here where all of the stars aligned, because we have a situation where I wanted to run up some puppies today. I didn't have time to run up some puppies today because I had to do a huge update for the Dynasty rankings. So that is almost done. I wanted to get a live stream in today, so that's what we're going to do today. And with the puppy filling, so now there's no more puppies. You have to do the $25 WrestleMania drafts, which are fine. I already have like 30 of them done. But I figured with the puppy gone, me finishing my Dynasty rankings today, for the people, all the sickos out there that beg me to come on here, do Dynasty startup mock drafts, I will come out here and do one for you guys today. If you're in here, let me know what's up. How's it going? I got to change I just realized that I really goofed here, and I started this video with no tags. So if you see this, you are a true Ron Stewart supporter. I got to put some tags on this video real quick. Again, if you're in here, say something. Let me know. It's got to get some tags so that the Dynasty people are directed to this video, it seems like. But I think this should be okay. It'll even out, whatever. I went live early. I don't care. Whatever. All the true sickos will be in here. Also, by the way, I am live streaming on a new computer, on this new Mac. Shout out Underdog for hooking the boy up with some upgrades. So let me know if like the quality is like super good and compared to other ones. I doubt that it'll be a noticeable difference, but it will be a noticeable difference on my end just from like things overheating. Usually by now my computer's fan is just going absolutely insane, and I can't even hear the fan right now on this one. Can you guys? All right, so you guys can definitely hear me because like my audio interface is hooked up in a very weird way. But once we get some people to sort of flow in here, we're going to be getting a Dynasty startup mock draft going in a second. How are we? Han, I don't know what Han is, but I appreciate you in here, Cass. How are we doing? What's up, Rob? I'm good, brother. I got to support my brother over here. Appreciate you, Nathan the boy. What do we got? What's up, Ron? Oh no, you corrected yourself. I appreciate that. Thoughts on this trade? In a quarterback-hungry Superflex league, Zach Wilson for Drake London, Ayuk in a 23 third. Give me Drake London, Ayuk in a 23 third by a lot. Even in a QB-hungry league. Everything is crisp on me? All right, perfect. So link to the mock. I got to get it going on my end in a second here, but I'm down to get that fired up. Just was kind of waiting for more people to filter in here. Sheesh, DKB is in here. What's going on? You said nice. What Mac did you get, bro? I got maybe the craziest laptop I could have possibly gotten. Like I can't stress enough. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to like tell you guys that they had a hand in helping me pay for this Mac, but Underdog helped me get this Mac. This is like my dream computer. I don't know if you guys know anything about computers. Maybe I'll show my screen real quick. Would this show it? Ecamm needs permission to capture this screen. Okay. I'll give you the jeez. Now it's making me do crazy things. But it's fine. Oh boy, quit and reopen. All right, quit and reopen. This is gonna be no. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think we'll be all right though. Yeah, we're fine. Whoa, showing you guys a lot of stuff on the back end there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm being an idiot right now. Just give me a second. I'm sorry about it. I don't. This is a new laptop. I wanted to show you the screen so I could show you like all the specs of the computer, but that's not going to happen. So I'll just read them out. But it is a crazy setup. Let me see real quick about this Mac. It's pretty much like the newest MacBook out there. It has like the crazy M1 chip in it already, or whatever. So it has the M1 Max chip. It's a 16-inch. 64 gigabytes of memory. So I believe it's like 64 gigabytes of RAM, maybe. 1 terabyte of storage. What else? Yeah, that's about all I know. But yeah, dude, it's pretty much just a tricked out Mac. It's so tricked out to the point where I ordered this like 3 months ago, and they hand built it in Bill Gates's basement so that it could be ready to be transferred to my basement. But yeah, it's a sweet setup. It's amazing. Um, it's not even flinching at this live stream right now. I cannot stress enough. I used to have a 2015 MacBook that I would record these on or do streams on. By now, the fans would be roaring. Like this hasn't even budged. I can't hear a thing from this laptop right now, and I'm streaming to you guys. All right, so let me get on Sleeper and get this going. Went on a little bit of a tangent there. If you guys have any Dynasty questions, feel free to lob them my way. We're still waiting for people to flow in here. Kind of screwed some things up by not putting a I hate when I blank out like that, man. I blank out like that far too often. I don't even know what I was saying. What the hell was I even talking about? Oh, yeah, I just didn't put the tags on and it screwed some things up. All right, so we're going to get a mock draft going here. I will say, man, you guys have been begging me to do a Dynasty mock draft, so that's why we're doing that today. If this gets like 5,000 views, maybe I'll do another one before the summer ends. I have to be honest, like I am just kind of all dynastied out, ready to sort of move on to redraft. But I do know in the back of my head that the minute I move back to redraft, and it's only June. By the time August comes around, I'm gonna be kind of regurgitating the same stuff. So I'm trying to keep it balanced right now in terms of dynasty. So you're gonna see this dynasty startup mock draft. I'm gonna do like 5 players skyrocketing up my ranks, some must buy and sell trade targets for dynasty. So don't worry, I'm gonna try and keep it like about half and half, like 60-40, with a lean towards redraft for June, and then kind of get going from there. So Dynasty Startup, Mock Draft, we'll do Snake, Superflex for sure, third round reversal, we'll do 12 rounds. This looks good. Okay, I'm happy with this. Let's update. Okay. I'll put a link in the chat real quick. By the way, fellas, I'm going to be putting a link in the chat. So be on the lookout for that, because I know some people are like, how do you join this mock draft? It's like my dog. The link's been in there for like 45 minutes. You just haven't seen it. All right, so let me put it. I'll pin it here, and then I'll answer some of your guys' questions. Join league here. Boom. Whoa. So I'll pin that. And I saw that you guys got some questions for me. What's going on? What's going on? You said that you have DKB. You said that you have the same one, just 14-inch. It's really nice. I wish I got the 16-inch for better battery. Crazy part is I didn't even know. I didn't even know that the 16-inch had a better battery. But you got, dude, the M1 chip and all that, dude. It's been treating me nice. I have to be honest. I haven't even used it for like a full work week yet, so I can't really say that this is like insane. But so far, it has been an absolute tank. What do we got? Not going to lie, I panicked and traded Watson for Fields. My thoughts, Watson is going to tank in value. I'm surprised the offer was sent to me. Watson showed up for Fields. I don't think it's terrible. I don't love it, but may I please get a hot take on free agent Will Fuller in Dynasty? Do the analytics add up to someone I would want to roster? It's a very weird way to lob that question my way, but my short answer would be yes. It's not even so much analytics. It's just that his archetype, where he is this like field stretcher type guy. He's had some really nice boom weeks, and he's been going crazy. So I don't really have a hot take on Will Fuller, but he's someone that I like. I've been drafting a good little chunk of him, especially in best ball, as a like sort of a spike week type of guy. Fellas, also the link is in the chat. We only got 4 people in the sleeper mock draft right now. Should I show you guys? Do I got to show you guys the screen pretty much? Let's get this filled up, fellas. What's going on? We got a hot link in the chat. We got 4 people in here. Let me get myself all situated real quick. I think that this is a decent setup. Let me know if it's like too small on the screen or anything. I think that looks probably fine to you guys. Could maybe zoom in a little bit more. I don't know. I think that looks fine probably. What do we think? Let me go down. Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Fellas, like I said, join up. I got the link in the chat. Don't make me tweet this out or at the entire Discord to get this filled up. If you're in here, pop out. It's just a sleeper link. I pinned it. What else we got? Murray State sweatshirt. I have a spot near my crib where It's pretty much like a Marshalls, TJ Maxx, but it's like local and it's even cheaper. And they just have random college sweatshirts for like $10 there. So I have every college you could imagine, and I just love John Morant. You said, yo, thoughts on Josh Jacobs in a 23 second for Miles Sanders and a 23 first. I love that. That's a beautiful maneuver there, Gabriel. That's beautiful. That's a great maneuver. What do you think about Josh Jacobs in a 23 first for CMC? If I'm a contender, that's not a terrible price to pay. Still not in love with it, though. Like a 23 first, unless I have a surplus of them, unless you have like 5 or 6, I'm not trying to ship those off anytime soon at this point. But I do think the value is probably fine. Wow, King Klein's in here? What the damn hell? But yeah, so I've been staring at a spreadsheet all day long since like 10 a.m. working on the new Dynasty ranks. They're not done yet, so I'm not going to be like, oh, time for the Patreon to see them. They're not done yet. They'll probably be done by Tuesday. It's always such a squeeze to try and get it done in one day. And it spilt over a little bit. I was out with some of the fellas last night. A little bit banged up this morning, not going to lie. But yeah, excited for those. Made some changes. I will say we'll do some videos on it, like some trade targets. We'll do some like who's rising in the ranks. We got Derek in here. How are we doing? Is this filled? No, we still need one more. Anybody in here that wants to join up, feel free to. Also, if anybody in here wants to ask me a Dynasty question, a redraft question, whatever, feel free to ask away. This is going to be like a Q&A, chill type vibe. We'll run up a 12-man mock draft here. All right, so I'll randomize the order. I'll get to answer some questions in a second. We'll just randomize the order and get going. Boom. King Klein at the 101. The boy. The baby boy. What do we got? He said, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the name Bryan Edwards? Johnny, you've been asking some very interesting questions here. The first word that comes to my mind when I think of Bryan Edwards, probably, if it's one word, I don't really have anything one word, but I would say like age 17 breakout. Klein baby with the teehee. Are any of Devonta Smith, Bateman, Amon-Ra St. Brown worth a 2023 first straight up? I think I would probably sell Bateman and Amon-Ra St. Brown for a 23 first. I think it gets a lot closer once we start talking about Devonta Smith. I'd say it's probably a wash with Devonta Smith, but maybe lean a 23 first. You said you got Ronnie twisted last night? Oh, of course. Me and King Klein had quite the night last night. Guys make me drink weird shit. I've never even heard of I don't even know what a Moscow Mule is. All right, so we'll go Kyler here. Very easy. I think in this format, it kind of sucks. Like I know a guy on Twitter that I'm in some leagues with. Cam's Not Sober. He's a really cool dude, and he doesn't like the fact that in all of these dynasty startups, you kind of just see like 6 quarterbacks go straight off the board. He prefers, what am I trying to say? He prefers auction because of that, so it's a little bit more even keeled, but it is what it is in this format. What do you got here? Do you still believe Breece Hall will have a positive rookie season while having Michael Carter? Because a lot of people I've asked are still indifferent about him and how it would work together. I got to be honest, I'm not really worried about Michael Carter in the slightest bit. Like, Breece Hall is an undeniable prospect. Like, he's very, very good. His comps come up as, like, Matt Forte, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor. He is a very, very good running back prospect. I know a very good friend of mine, Dynasty IM, Ian. He comes out as elite for me, but he, like, pretty much his legendary tier, that's where Breece Hall comes out for him. So he's a very, very strong prospect. He looks good in a couple models. And Michael Carter, to me, a day 3 draft pick that didn't do a ton last year, to me is no more than like a Nyheim Hines in this situation, where he might take away some of Breece Hall's weekly upside through the first like 10 weeks. But I think after that, for the rest of Breece Hall's career, there's no doubt that he's going to be the guy. Like the Jets traded up in front of the Houston Texans to get Breece Hall. If they felt that strongly about him, I don't think that they envision Michael Carter getting a massive workload. He's probably just going to be the pass-catching back, again, a la Nyheim Hines, J.D. McKissick, somebody of that nature. You said you said you went to college with Johnny. Dude's pretty famous for being the real life Van Wilder. What's Van Wilder? Am I an idiot? Who the hell is Van Wilder? I'm really Googling what Van Wilder even is at this point. Yeah, I'm showing my age here. Oh, Van Wilder's the story that like Bert Kreischer like wanted to sue. I've heard of that where like some movie copied Bert Kreischer's like start wherever he's from pretty much. All right, so what are we looking at here? Swift is interesting. Hall is interesting. Hertz is interesting. So Deshaun went. Hertz is very interesting. Brown is interesting. Andrews is interesting. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts. That's what I've decided. We'll go Hurts there. Lock in two stud quarterbacks right quick. That's crazy though. You and Johnny went to the same school though? You said you're trying to buy or sell Allen Lazard. I'm trying to sell Allen Lazard as fast as possible. I just don't see the upside a lot of people see. Like, I just don't know. Like, what does best case scenario look like for Allen Lazard? Like a fringe top 36 finish? Like, I don't know. Like, unless if you're projecting him to have like this Doug Baldwin UDFA type ascension, which even then it just doesn't feel like that's in the cards at all. You know, right? Doug Baldwin was a UDFA. I'm trying to think of like UDFA guys who kind of come out of nowhere. I don't know. I have a hard time buying into Lazard. It just doesn't feel. I wrote a video. I did a video on this the other day. People did not like the video I posted yesterday, man. People are flaming me in those comments. They're not flaming me. Like, I don't care. People got outraged. You can go back to my do not draft these running backs list of Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, and Nick Chubb last year. All of them didn't do much. I know it kind of got bailed out with Derrick Henry getting hurt. But all those comments were coming at me crazy. People were coming at me crazy last night for saying to fade Cortland Sutton. Dude, I'm not saying fade him in Dynasty. I'm saying in redraft, he is the wide receiver 18 in ADP. That's outrageous, man. It's outrageous. So you're doing a lot of projecting. I don't know how you have Sutton ahead of Judy. I'm not even a Judy guy. I don't see how you have Sutton ahead of Judy. It doesn't make sense to me. It does not. I'm kind of going on a rant here. But yeah, Allen Lazard doesn't make sense to me as a UDFA where I don't know. I just don't see the upside for him to like crack. I mean, like, I guess he could maybe crack the top 36. I just don't see a world where like he doesn't have a path to being a real difference maker in my eyes. Maybe I'm being too firm on my projections, but I just don't understand. You said in a PPR format, non-tight end premium, can you argue for Pitts over guys like Dalvin, CMC, Henry, Eckler? In non-tight end premium, and I'm assuming that this is in Dynasty. And if it's in Dynasty, I would take Pitts over every single one of those guys. You said Sutton's definitely a fade. Yeah, I agree. I just don't get it. Mike Clay, I love his projections. He's very conservative. He's trying to be as accurate as possible. He's not trying to make any stands. He has Sutton as like wide receiver 29, Judy as wide receiver 22, which I think is very even keeled and like reasonable. So wide receiver 18 prices for Sutton is absolutely wild to me. You said 1K and 10 touchdowns for Lazard. I guess that's in his range. So we're in a spot where I hate all the running backs. The wide receivers are interesting. Huh. You guys are not as wide receiver hungry as I have been accustomed to. So I think I'll go Metcalf here. I actually love Metcalf in the middle in like the mid to late third. That's actually a fun pick. You said was not expecting to not have the 212 and the 301. It's a third round reversal, brother. This is how I prefer drafts. I know that some people are like vehemently against it, which I think is idiotic. Like, you shouldn't be able to come out of a draft with Josh Allen, Deebo Samuel, and Breece Hall. It's too, especially in quarterback, like super flex tight end premium, when quarterbacks are so top heavy, where you see 5 quarterbacks go off the board right off the top. If you can get an elite quarterback and then also come back around and get solid value at the 212 and 301, it's not great. I also think that there's a case that most redraft leagues, or most fantasy leagues in general, should probably be third round reversal. said, why did Sutton get juiced so hard in the span of like 2 days? Yeah, I could have sworn that he was like wide receiver 20, wide receiver 21-ish, and then he got steamed to like wide receiver 18-ish. I don't know, man. A lot of people just point out, oh, well, Russell Wilson's sick, so he's going to support two, top 20 wide receivers, which, like, he has that in his wheelhouse, but just because, like, you have to take the entire thing into the picture, and the way that I approach fantasy is I want to be rostering the players who are talented at football. I don't want to be rostering a player who is only appealing because his quarterback is sick. Like, we've seen that not work out. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. The only thing that really comes to my mind is Matthew Stafford last year with Robert Woods, where Matthew Stafford's a quarterback upgrade for Robert Woods, and Robert Woods still didn't see any efficiency, and like he wasn't startable through like 4 or 5 weeks until his ACL. I don't think 4 or 5. I think just the whole season until that ACL tear. I'm trying to think of a better example though of someone with like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, Brady. I guess you could say Brady with N'Keal Harry. It's just not enough. N'Keal Harry though is so far not talented at football that he doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean? Like just for running routes with a really good quarterback doesn't mean instantly you're going to be a top 24 wide receiver. It's just not how it works. And that's the issue that I see personally. And then it's also like Sutton, dude. Like Sutton completely ceded all of his touches, everything, to Judy as soon as he came back. I don't see how he usurps him in the pecking order. What do we got here? You said sup run. How are we doing, Floor Pirates? No one's got any more Dynasty questions for me? I'm trying to do a little 21 Dynasty questions. Anybody's got trades that are sort of pending? Anybody wants to pick my brain on some players? You can ask me redraft questions. I'm down to do it all. Love the robust RB start from waiver wire fire here. Just absolutely setting the tone on all of us. Man, I gotta say, I'm not sure what my next move is. So London goes. That's a great pick by Eric. Huh. I have a couple of ideas. I hate that the wide receiver, man. The wide receivers broke off as soon as it got to me. So it's 4th round. I want nothing to do with any of these running backs. Though I think I can make the case for some of them. I think Kelsey gets very interesting. Let's go Kelsey. I think that's a fun pick. Why not? What are you expecting / projecting from Arizona running back Darrell Williams this season? I don't know. It's tough, man. He's been getting steamed in redraft ADP. I just moved him up a good chunk of the Dynasty rankings today. And it's really just because of his redraft ADP, where people are really into him. I think that really all you can say about Darrell Williams is that he is a perfect handcuff, and that's about it. I think James Conner will be the main workhorse. Darrell Williams will get some pass catching work, but in terms of being able to start him on a week-to-week basis, you're going to have to get a James Conner injury, and then he'll just give you 15 points per game like he did last year, which is a pretty valuable role for your team, but that's about it. King Cardano, what's up, gentlemen? What's going on, brother? What's going on? You said I got offered Watson for Lance straight up, and I'm torn. I think I'd probably hold on to Lance there. You said you're a Sutton believer. I think my argument would be that he is the only wide receiver in that room that has put up a great season before. Jerry is cool, but hasn't done it before. Here's the thing. I think something that I sort of thought of today that I wanted to make clear with that video yesterday is in fantasy, right? Where we had last year, we hadn't seen Deebo Samuel have a 6 season before. We hadn't seen Jonathan Taylor have a 20 point per game season yet. A lot of the biggest wins you can have in fantasy is by projecting things that haven't happened yet. So one of the most frustrating things out there that I hear is we haven't seen it yet from this player. And I don't mean to just go at adventure awaits here. But for me, because the thing is that if you have a 6-year player, your crutch of that argument shouldn't be we haven't seen it yet, but I'm just going to project him for that. I think that the whole thing of like we haven't seen him do it yet is a fine argument for anybody not going into year 2 or year 3 when we sort of have seen massive jumps across all positions. Year 2 and year 3, you see the biggest strides, and then once you get to year 4, you're basically that player for the rest of your career outside of like crazy outliers like Cooper Kupp last year. So that's why with Jeudy, I'm comfortable projecting more. We've also seen him absolutely blow Sutton out of the water last year in terms of targets, points, all of that. So when Jeudy and Sutton have been on the field together, Jeudy has come out on top. Judy's now going into year 3, so we can expect a year 3 jump like we saw with Debo last year, like we saw with Deontay Johnson last year, like we saw with Marquise Brown last year. Year 3 jumps are very real. I think that Jeudy has that in his range of outcomes, whereas Sutton, I don't see a massive step for him. And it's not even so much that I hate Sutton, right? His price is like wide receiver 18. For me, in my redraft ranks, I plan on doing those next Saturday, so it's going to be another freaking Saturday of me just sitting down staring at a spreadsheet all day. But I think what it's going to come down to for me is I'll have him like a wide receiver 25, right? So it's only like 7 spots. I'm not saying that he can't finish in the top 24 wide receivers. I'm just saying wide receiver 18 is far too damn pricey for Courtland Sutton. But yeah, with just Jeudy, his rookie year reception perception was very strong. He's commanded targets at a high level as early as his rookie year. Courtland Sutton commanded targets at a high level in his first year, but he didn't put up a top 24 season. He hasn't even sniffed that same target share since that season. His reception perception from his breakout season wasn't even that clean. So for a guy who his calling card is winning and getting open and commanding targets, he's not on a per route basis, per Matt Harmon, he wasn't doing that great. So Sutton to me is tough. I don't see this like top 12 world dominating upside. I think that Russell Wilson's, his passes are going to be very efficient, and he definitely has upside to have a top 24 season this year. And I think that could even be the expectation. I do just think that wide receiver 18, early 4th round on underdog is insane. You have to remember, everything I'm saying is at cost. I'm not saying that Courtland Sutton's a bad player, that he can't produce, or that he can't surprise us. I'm just saying that at his cost, I can't make that. We got Godwin or Hollywood for the season. Hollywood very easily for me. Bring back the puppy. Yeah, I hope they drop a puppy too soon as well, but I don't think we'll be getting that for a minute. All right, so Kelsey, so Kittle went. I'm staring some options down here. We got, if we look at this view. So I'm looking at Garrett Wilson, Jeudy, Smith. Let's go Garrett Wilson. We'll go Garrett Wilson there. I don't know why the market has Garrett Wilson so high compared to some of those other wide receivers I like on the board, but whatever. What do we got here? You said Sutton's also another year removed from his injury. Yeah, I think that's also a fine observation. We got here Aaron Rodgers being the reigning MVP and likely finishing top 7 quarterback with a floor of 35 TDs, who is scoring those touchdowns on that Green Bay offense. I would probably slow my roll a little bit on that. I think we're probably saying I'd probably say fringe top 12 quarterback in fantasy. I don't know if you meant like top 7 quarterback in real life. I would say top 12 quarterback in fantasy with a floor of 30 touchdowns. I think I am of the idea that I do think that Aaron Jones probably sees a lot of touchdowns and receiving work in that offense, but past that it's tough. I think it's gonna be really spread out, man. Like when you take 30 and you divide that among I think you're gonna take 30 and divide it among 6 players between Tonyan, Watkins, Cobb, did I say Watson? But I think those 30 touchdowns will probably be split pretty evenly amongst Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, Tonyan, Cobb, Sammy Watkins. They have a lot of dudes on that team. So I think it's gonna be spread pretty evenly, where you could see the touchdown leader is 8 or 9 touchdowns, and it's Aaron Jones, and then you have 7 touchdowns to Tonyan, and then somewhere in the range of 6, 7, 8 for Lazard or Watson or something like that. I want to say I might even pull it up real quick after my pick, but I looked at Mike Clay's projections the other day for kind of what he thought how that offense breaks down. And he had a pretty good projection for it. So what's up, Ron? I made a big trade. Can you rate it, please? Yeah, just drop it, man. What are your thoughts on Justin Fields for redraft and Dynasty? Very excited. I know it's tough with Fields because as a Fields stan and someone that has been supporting Fields and drafting him a lot these past 2 years, it does suck that his head coach left, which we wanted Matt Nagy out of there, but they bring in a defensive-minded head coach. They give him no help. They bring in Velus Jones and Byron Pringle. He has Darnell Mooney and Komet, so he has a couple options. Um, I like him. He has a lot of upside. I believe he had like 4 rushing points per game, which is really good. I think that Ian had a really good tweet on that today at Dynasty. I am again. I referenced him earlier, but he has a ton of rushing upside. I don't know about Justin Fields being like a Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson and being like this elite NFL talent, but I do see him as a Marcus Mariota type, where I would be shocked, just given his wheels, I'd be shocked if he didn't give us a top 12 season at some point. I think that makes sense. So we're now sitting at the 604. I thought you guys were going to let me get Elijah Moore, Devonta Smith here, but I'm sorely mistaken. There's some options here that I don't hate in the 6th. Let's go Marquise Brown. Get a little stack between Marquise Brown and Kyler Murray. I think that's fun. You said Cortland Sutton's garbage. See, that's not what I'm saying. But like I get the sentiment, but that's not what I'm saying. You're in a win now dynasty. Would you trade Kelsey in a 23 first for Kyle Pitts? Very easily. Very easily I would do that. You said give me Hamler over Sutton. Jeez. Derek out of his mind sometimes. What do we got here? Man. What do we got here? You said you traded 2 23 firsts and 2 23 seconds and a 24 second for Etienne and Higgins. That is very easily a win, brother. It's very easily a win. What do we got? You said, hey, Ron, traded CMC for Sutton, Ty Davis Price, and a 23 first, a 23 second, and 24 first? Jeez, brother. That's also a great trade. What do we got? You said, how would you rank? I'm assuming that this is Dobbins, Walker, Akers, Etienne, and Saquon. In a vacuum, I think I would go. I actually did this earlier today. I think I went Saquon. Etienne, Dobbins, Walker, Akers. NC23, what's going on, brother? I remember you from, I want to say you hopped in an underdog draft with us maybe last week. So what do we got? Juju puts up a top 12 season and gets a 4-year contract at KC. What are you saying? Oh, what are you paying? I don't know. Here's the thing. As somebody that follows football as much as I do, it's actually hilarious. I don't have a grasp on contracts at all. I really don't know. I don't know what they would pay him. I think a top 12 season would be insane for Juju, man. I don't think that that's going to happen. I'm just not sure that Juju's very good, man. It's crazy for that to come out of my mouth, where we saw the 6th season. Like, he was really good as a rookie. He was phenomenal as a second-year player, and then we haven't seen it since. Commanded targets, but he played in this like slot role where he's not a very good conventional wide receiver. He was just kind of very good within the context of that offense in his role. And I don't usually side with that kind of analysis of like those targets weren't really earned and it was just because of the role and stuff, but he really was using the slot in a way that was really advantageous with Antonio Brown on the outside. It's tough. I think that I mean he was like a top 5 to 10 wide receiver in his second year, so it's probably not too crazy for him to be a top 24 guy. I think top 12 is a little bit much, though. I mean, he's catching passes from Mahomes, so anything's possible there, right? He could score like 14 touchdowns and have some of the most efficient passes of his entire career, but we'll see. Who do you prefer in Dynasty, Bateman or Gabriel Davis? Bateman very easily. Do you trust Gibson and McLaurin this season? I trust McLaurin. I don't really trust Gibson. Gibson's role is so tough, man. As much as I've loved Gibson in the past, man, but if it didn't happen last year, I don't know if it will happen ever. That's really the biggest concern I have. Like, everything was teed up last year to be, the next McCaffrey, and if he can't beat out J.D. McKissick and he can't convince the team to let him be the bell cow, and then they bring in Brian Robinson, who's a grinder. It just doesn't seem like he's ever going to get that workload that we want. So I'm good. He would have to win on some crazy efficiency, and it's just tough on that offense. He'd have to be like an Aaron Jones type guy. The issue is that offense just won't let him be that. What else we got? for the value, not as an overall player. Yeah, exactly. Sutton can still be a very good NFL wide receiver, but a bad value at ADP. Are you bullish on Trevor Lawrence? I kind of think he's going to pop off, if not this year, then next year. Jameson Williams goes. So Jameson Williams goes. What does the roster look like right now? I'm going Derrick Henry. You sickos, if you're going to let me draft Derrick Henry at the 708, I'll do that all day. I don't care. I would have loved to go Amon-Ra St. Brown, though, but it's fine. But am I bullish on Trevor Lawrence? Not really. They didn't bring him in like phenomenal weapons. He has like Kirk. He has Zay Jones, Visca. It's just not pretty. I don't know. It's just tough, man. It's tough, dude. I loved him coming out. I think that he is like one of the highest graded prospects in my model. He is like the best prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck. The issue is that Andrew Luck came out and averaged like 18 points per game as a rookie in terms of fantasy output. Trevor Lawrence wasn't good in real life. He wasn't even like good in fantasy, like a Josh Allen who wasn't that good in real life, but in fantasy he was great in year one. Same with Lamar. So it's really tough, man. His range of outcomes went from like Andrew Luck, like Peyton Manning, like world beater type quarterbacks to Matthew Stafford, Sam Bradford, Carson Wentz type area, which is, I don't know, it's uninspiring. I don't have any Trevor Lawrence shares at this point. I wouldn't say that I'm selling because you still have to respect the prospect profile, and quarterbacks are so all over the place that maybe he does outshoot that Stafford projection and becomes Andrew Luck. It's just very tough. The information we have right now is really tough. I also hate the idea that if Trevor Lawrence comes out and he sucks through like 4 games, his stock is going to really take a hit. He said, when are we getting another Dynasty team breakdown video? I want to say next week, so not this Monday, but I had it planned for that following Tuesday. He said, you're hearing DK Cowboys hype. Should I be worried as a CD owner, and would you trade for DK with him possibly holding out and maybe on a new team soon? I wouldn't buy into those rumors a ton. I don't know that they could even, I don't think they have enough cap space to even pay for DK Metcalf. Like, I might be talking about my ass, but I just don't think that they do. Like, I think that he would want to get traded and then have a huge extension. So if you're a CD owner, don't flinch at all. If anybody's souring on DK Metcalf, he's a great buy, though. I love DK Metcalf. He's one of the most talented wide receivers in the league. If Russell Wilson was still there, he would be like a top 6 Dynasty wide receiver, very easily a top 12 redraft wide receiver. So it is what it is, brother. You hated on my Hawk pick? Oh, yeah, I remember that. So would you give Ramondre and LaVisca for CEH? I guess. It's pretty close. He said, I think people are sleeping on Renfrow and what Josh McDaniels does with slot wide receivers. What, little Wes Welker, Julian Edelman action? I don't hate that idea. What else we got? We have anything good available at this point? No. This is why I regretted taking Derrick Henry. Yeah, I'm looking. All these wide receivers just aren't. The wide receivers have run out. Yeah, so I'll wait on another wide receiver, and I'll just go Aaron Jones, I think. Yeah, I'll just go Aaron Jones, whatever. I don't hate that. I'm still struggling to buy into Hunter Renfrow. It's pretty funny. I think I heard someone on Twitter say it, that like targets are earned unless your name is Hunter Renfrow, which is like has been tough for me to wrestle with as somebody that is like a target share truther. He's earned targets. He gets open at a high rate. I just have a hard time ever seeing like a true ceiling. Like I don't know if we ever see a Hunter Renfrow like wide receiver 1 point per game season. Devontae and Waller there aren't going to step aside for him. But he's interesting. I think at his price, he's probably interesting. I'm not really buying him. I'm not really drafting him a whole lot unless if I have like unless if I have a week 17 game stack where that would make sense. Where I have like some San Fran Las Vegas correlation going on. Said, hey, I don't know why I almost didn't say my name correctly there. He said, hey, Ron, I have Chase and T. Higgins. Should I trade T or ride the Bengals wave? Thanks, Ron. Dude, ride the wave. I get this question all the time. I made a good video on it last year before I could just like post a video of my nuts and it would just do something in the algorithm. So that one has like 800 views. So not a lot of people saw it, but I was talking about like stacking in Dynasty, and I think it's a mistake that people. It seems like in Dynasty people are very adverse to stacking. But you want to be stacking pass catchers and quarterbacks to just sort of make mini correlations within your team. Because if you think about it, if you had Higgins and Chase last year, you would have had the huge like Week 15 T Higgins spike week where if you had him, you won that playoff week, and then the same thing with Jamar Chase in the championship. I was actually talking with Kleiner, King Klein, who's in here, on the way to the bars yesterday. And I was telling him, like, you want to lean into that, and even more so than that, instead of trading away T. Higgins, you should be trying to acquire Joe Burrow. If you have an elite quarterback, hit up the guy who has Burrow, put up your elite quarterback and try and make up the difference to get Burrow. Because if you can get Burrow, T, and Chase on the same team, you're in business. People think Renfro's going to fall off because of Devontae coming in, but I don't see it. You see it as being a bit dramatic, I suppose. Don't say anything positive. Yeah, no, I don't love Brian Robinson. I'm just saying they brought him in. I think that the Commanders bringing him in, I think just speaks volumes, if that makes sense. Like just the fact that they brought Brian Robinson in after like wanting to deploy Gibson as like this, all-purpose Christian McCaffrey clone. They bring in Brian Robinson. They beg J.D. McKissic to come back after he signed with the Bills. Like, it's just very tough, man. What they are telling us is that they don't believe that Gibson can be the guy that we want him to be. Am I a fool for believing Houston QB Mills is going to be a QB1 this year? I think that you're probably a fool. I don't think QB1. I think, functional starting quarterback, fine. Anyone who crapped all over Najee for being old can't have any Robinson shares. I mean, he goes like mid-third, so I take him sometimes. You said last roster spot: Mike Davis, Snell, Rex Burkhead, Watkins, Campbell, Atwell. I kind of hate that I'm going to say this, but probably Burkhead, man. Did you have Watson and want to tank this year? Should I sell Akers and Dobbins or just Dobbins? And what should I ask for? If you're going to be tanking this year, you probably want to sell most of your big name running backs. So I don't mind trying to sell Akers and Dobbins. I might hold on to Akers and wait for the season. I might even hold on to both and wait for the season, kind of see if they'll pop a little bit. I think both prices are kind of on the downswing right now. So what round is this? Round 9? We have Watson, Robinson, Claypool. We got a lot of interesting names here. So this has to be a wide receiver for me. I just don't really know who I prefer. I think Hopkins is kind of fun for correlation, but I think I'll pass. On Hopkins. I think Robinson's interesting. Claypool, Lockett, Tony's already gone. Cooks is gone. Okay, so let's go Allen Robinson. I think that's fine. I think Allen Robinson's fun on this team. But yeah, I'd be looking to sell those guys, but if you're tanking, you can always just wait till the season and hope that one of them pops. Would you give DK Metcalf for a 23 first, 25 first, 24 second, and Daniel Jones? Assuming this is Metcalf, man, I think I wouldn't. I'm not really interested in any firsts past 24 as well. You said you just traded away A.J. Dillon and KJ Osborne for Judy and Gainwell. That's a smash. What league are you in where that happens, brother? Standard league with 3 wide receivers. Should I draft a wide receiver or running back? That's a brother. I need a little bit more precision on these questions. I'm just playing though. But standard, you want to lead towards running back even with 3 wide receivers. You want to lean towards running back until you have running back filled, and then worry about but it's hard, man. It's hard because you don't want to be drafting. You don't want to be drafting Leonard Fournette over Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? So it's not just blindly draft running back. You kind of just want to adjust and bump the running backs up, but still be open to take wide receivers. 1 quarterback league, you traded Sanders, Waller. 1 quarterback league PPR, you traded Sanders, Waller, the 112, and a 23 first. You have a league where you can get your picks protected. That's actually so sick, dude. I'm actually very jealous. So you traded Sanders, Waller, and the 112, and a protected 23 first for Breece Hall. Does protected mean that if it's in the top 6, you get that pick, right? And then it just bumps to 2024 until you pick outside of the top 6? You won the league last year and needed a running back bad. So the 112, Waller, Sanders, and a 23 first. Give up a lot there, man. I think that it's probably about even. It's probably about even. That's really all I can say. It's probably about even. I probably lean Brees side, but it's very close, man. All right, so we actually have to pick here in a second. All right, we got some interesting options here. We got some interesting options here. You said Dynasty PPR, I got offered Diggs. You have Josh Allen and Mike Williams for your Debo and Gabriel Davis. The offer is currently active. Damn. Eric went Hopkins. I wanted to go Hopkins to get that to lock in a little stack there. I mean, I guess I could go Claypool. Would like another wide receiver. Damn it. All right, let's go Claypool. Whatever. Claypool in the 10th round can't be bad. So, I mean, Diggs. So Diggs versus Debo. I prefer Debo. Gabe Davis versus Mike Williams. I prefer Gabe Davis. So yeah, you're gonna. I know you have Josh Allen, but I'd probably want something else. I probably want something else on top of Diggs and Mike Williams there. You said rebuilding team in Dynasty. Henry for Waddle and James Cook very easily. My God. Stephon Diggs and Montgomery and 2 second-round picks. Give me Diggs there very easily. It's very different doing a startup and not trading back. Yeah, I agree. Just sitting here in the pocket and making picks is weird. Sold Diggs for a 23 first, 22 second, and a 23 second. I think that's probably fine value. So do you think grabbing Houston wide receivers and Mechie for pennies might pay off next year when they draft CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? I don't hate that idea. I think by the time that quarterback pans out, though, I'm not sure it'll line up, but possibly. You said you moved A.J. Dillon for Deontay Johnson in 23 second. Jeez. That's insane. People are really souring on Deontay Johnson like that. So I got offered a 23 first, 23 second, 24 first. Brady and Ren... What? You got offered a 23 for Brady and Renfro? If you got offered 2 firsts and a second for Brady and Renfro, you should probably take that. Oh, what? For Burrow? So you're saying you got offered a 23 first, 23 second, and 24 first Brady and Renfro for Burrow? No. Get that out of here. What should I ask for to trade away Pittman in a rebuild? I'm not sure I would trade away Pittman in a rebuild. I think he's probably a fine hold in a rebuild. But if I was trying to trade him away for something that made sense, I'd probably do like a 23 first and Kadarius Toney. Is that range? Could you do a 23 first and Ayuk? That could be fun. A 23 first and David Bell could be fun. What's the tier range of wide receiver do you think offers the most value in Dynasty right now? That's a very broad question. What tier of wide receivers offer the most value in Dynasty right now? I think probably the pockets that I like personally. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have a very clear answer for that. But the pockets I like most are the back end of this first tier, right? So Deontay Johnson, Diggs, Hill, Devontae Adams, Drake London. Then I also like for wide receivers. I also love once you get to like the 7th. I like Keenan Allen and Mike Evans. I don't know Mike Evans. Oh, okay. Of course, Derek took Mike Evans super high, but Mike Evans will fall this area a lot of the time. So I like Keenan Allen and Mike Evans in that area, like 2 veteran wide receivers. And then I actually like right here. I think the last 2 like startable wide receivers that I would feel good about starting are I'll actually say it once I get to my pick because I would like to take this player here if I can. But yeah, it's Adam Thielen. I think really the last tier of wide receivers that are like startable that like I'm comfortable starting is Adam Thielen and Tyler Lockett. Like once you get to Thielen, Lockett, Renfro, Hopkins, Claypool, Thielen, I like this area. I don't really consider Gallup or Kirk here. I'd probably put them in that next tier. But in terms of like players like super late in drafts at wide receiver that you can actually bank on starting at some point, I like that tier. Because I think after that, when you start looking at like Pierce, Mechie, Moore, I mean I wouldn't consider Patterson in this position. I know he is on sleeper, but like Rondale, Ridley, Woods, Lazard, like I don't feel good about any of these guys as weekly starters. What do we got? Where do you think Deontay will go if he doesn't stay at Pittsburgh, and is he worth holding on to in Dynasty? He's 100% worth holding on to Dynasty. His perception is great. He commands targets at a high level. He looks to be the next like Stephon Diggs type guy. I'm very bought into Deontay. I have no idea where he'll go. I'll be honest with you. I think it's very tough to say this far out, right? Because I think after the season he's going to go. But I don't think there's many situations that are like worse than Pittsburgh, where you have like Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky throwing footballs. You have kind of this aspect where they've been at the league, they've been one of the league leaders in pass attempts per game, but you're getting to a spot here with Ben Roethlisberger gone. They showed when they had Duck and Rudolph that one year when Ben was hurt, they passed like a league low rate. So there's a world out there where they come out here and are like bottom 5 in pass attempts. Their quarterback play is awful, and they just kind of lean on Najee. People don't realize that the Steelers, if you look at like their win totals on like Vegas or anything like that, they're like projected to be like a bottom like 6, bottom 8 team, the Steelers, which is really weird for them. But yeah, I think wherever he goes is probably there's like an 80% chance it's an upgrade. I'll say that. How much more valuable are 23 first rounders in a 10-team league? Probably just as valuable. I would say if anything, maybe like early 23 seconds are more valuable. I don't know. Deshaun Watson on a couple of teams. Should I sell or hold? I think at this point you have to sell. I think no. I don't know why I said that. I think at this point you have to hold. He's my most owned player in Dynasty. So it's a little bit of a conundrum for me, right? Because the guy is obviously an asshole. But yeah, he's already plummeting down to like QB 14 and keep trade cut. At this point, you have to just hold. You have to just hold until it rebounds. Because at the end of the day, he is a very good player. The minute he steps on the field, his price will be like a top 5 quarterback. I don't think you can sell unless if you can get one of Jalen Hurts, Trey Lance, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. If you can get into one of those 4 quarterbacks, like basically straight up, then fine. But anything past that, like Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Stafford, any of those guys, I'm good. I'll hold on to Deshaun there. And I'd really only be pressed to sell if you have like a win now team that you want to win that next year. In a rebuild, what should I expect to receive for Zeke, 10-team PPR Superflex? See, these questions, fellas, are tough, man. Like, are you looking for rookie picks? What are you looking for here? That's where I struggle a little bit. But in terms of what you can expect to receive for Zeke, not a ton. Maybe like 2 seconds if we're talking rookie picks. Maybe an early second if we're talking rookie draft is on like the horizon here. You said you traded your... I'm about to be on the clock. So our team's pretty stacked. I think we probably just take... I think Singletary is interesting. I think Edmonds is interesting. Ramondre is interesting. You guys have absolutely devoured the wide receivers here. I mean, this like isn't the worst price in the world for Rondale Moore if I have Kyler Murray. Are you guys gonna really make me take Rondale Moore in the 12th round? Fine, I'll take him. I'll do it. You said you traded your 103 for Hurts in a 12-man Superflex league. I love that. Marcus Mosier's in here, the boy. I appreciate that, brother. Checking out the channel real quick. If you guys don't know, Marcus Mosier, I believe. I wouldn't call Marcus a Cowboys beat reporter, but I think he does like Locked On Cowboys stuff. He's very plugged in. I think he's also you were also doing like Raider stuff at one point. But yeah, I appreciate you popping in, man. What else we got? 12 team start, 10 Superflex PPR. I got CH, Connor, and Patterson at running back. Also have 8 or 9 backups on the bench. Think I need to upgrade. If so, who would you aim for tier-wise? You got CH and Patterson, Connor, That's James Conner, Cordero Patterson, and CEH. If your wide receivers are sick, then you're probably chilling. If they're not sick, then I would probably be targeting another one of those guys in that tier of James Conner, Aaron Rodgers, or not Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, James Conner, Leonard Fournette. And if not one of those guys, I'd probably go back to like Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, that area, Ezekiel Elliott, somewhere in there. What else we got? Locked On Dynasty, boy. Love to see it. All right, so this is the draft. Got to be honest, it's 9:25 on a Saturday night, fellas. Probably won't be sticking around a ton. But yeah, man. Appreciate Marcus coming out. I appreciate all you guys coming out for this Dynasty Startup Draft. Dude, you guys are crazy. It is June, and when I do like a puppy draft or I hop on Underdog, we top out at like 50 viewers. But when I hop on the Dynasty Startup Draft, you guys go crazy, man. We're at 77 right now, 75. It just wrapped up. We were at one point like 89, almost 90. The one I did before this, we topped out at like 100, which is insane for a live stream. You guys are fiends for these Dynasty Startup live streams. Maybe we'll run up another one. Again, it is getting to that point in the season where I want to transition to redraft, but maybe we will meet again for another Dynasty Startup Draft. But I appreciate all you guys coming out here, hanging out with me on a Saturday night. But I'm going to go hang out with my dog, play some Xbox. I'm going to be playing probably some Formula 1. I've been messing around with some Formula 1 2021 recently. I've been really getting into Formula 1, dude. It's bad. I think I have like $100 worth of bets tomorrow. If anybody wants Formula 1 bets, should I shout out my Formula 1 bets for tomorrow? I'll give these out for the free. What do we want? I'm honestly playing. Do not hold me to these bets, because if they don't hit, I don't know what to tell you. It's Formula 1. I'm talking on my ass with these, okay? I'm talking my ass with Formula 1, but I love Formula 1. I'm probably just getting caught up in the moment. I'm probably pretty lame for that. But here are the bets I got for Formula 1 here. All right, so those ones I put in before qualifying today, so those ones aren't updated. But I got $5 on Carlos Sainz winning outright at plus 1,800. I got $2 on George Russell winning outright at plus 5,000. I got Carlos Sainz for a podium finish at plus 195. $12 on that. We got $5 on George Russell to finish on the podium for plus 470. We got Lewis Hamilton to finish on the podium for plus 650. I got Sebastian Vettel minus 160 to finish in the points. And then I got a little cheeky three-leg parlay with George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc to all finish in the points at minus 122. So those are my plays. If I go 0 for 7 or 8 tomorrow, that's not my problem. I'll be hurting just as much as you guys, man. I got real money on that shit. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Even though it's going to be funny, dude, I'm probably going to wake up with like 5 laps to go tomorrow. The race starts at like 7. But yeah, it's the football off season, so that's kind of just something I've been getting into. Formula 1 is fun. I don't know shit about cars, but yeah, man. I love all you guys for coming out here, supporting the boy on a Saturday night. I don't have anything to plug because my Dynasty rankings aren't done yet, but I wanted to come on here, hang out with you guys. Those should be done on Tuesday. For anybody that is subscribed to the Patreon and is expecting rankings soon, be on the lookout. They'll be here on Tuesday at the latest. As always, I love you guys. Let me go full screen for this. Oh, yeah. I'll touch on this in a second. Yo, Ron, what's the status of the startups? We will be getting a startup going. I know I was saying like early this week, but because I did the Dynasty startup rankings or the Dynasty rankings today, probably like mid to late this week, I'll have some concrete stuff for Patreon startups. But there's a lot of interest. We'll get that going. Those will be really fun. But just know that that's in the back of my head right now. I just want to get these Dynasty rankings up for you guys, and then I'll be able to do all that stuff for you guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the Saturday night. If you haven't already, make sure you go down below, subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.